Hey guys, so for the last few years, I have been cooling this 12 by 20 office or shed here with a 14,000 BTU window unit. And the problem with that is that it does okay in the shoulder seasons of spring and fall. But when it really starts to get hot, like it is starting to right now, we're over 90 degrees, it struggles to keep up with keeping the building cool, even with a spray foamed insulation. And then during the winter, I'm still relying on propane heat to keep all of this climate controlled. And the problem with the propane is that that will also add humidity in there. And in spray foamed buildings, you do not want humidity. This is also where I do some humidity sensitive projects like my 3D printing and things like that. So today we're going to go ahead and install a mini split. Yeah, folks over at Cozeware has sent me out one, and we're going to see, even though it's a 12,000 BTU, we're going to see if it will do a better job of running off the solar system and less of the spikes and lows of the temperature, and kind of allow for a little bit more consistent and a quieter atmosphere inside the office. So let's take a look. So the folks over at Cozeware reached out and offered their 115 volt, 12,000 BTU unit for me to try here. And since I was already in need of an upgrade, it seemed like a very productive collaboration with their company. So this video is sponsored by Cozeware. But there will be a link, and it'll be an affiliate link, and there should be a discount code down below for them. I opted for the 115 volt because I actually had an extra 20 amp circuit that I could use here. So the heating capacity here is 12,000 BTU, and the cooling capacity is 12,000 BTU as well. And then our SEER rating is 20. So we've got quite a bit working for us, and it should be a fantastic upgrade to the current setup that we've got going here. So this is my office, and also my Radio Shack, little place where I can work on small projects in here outside of the weather, and still be able to take care of editing software. This is where I run the incubator when I'm doing quail or chicken eggs, and just some of my all-around storage for things that I don't want inside the house. And this is where I run my security. I've got my weather reporting station in here, and just some things of that nature. And so another thing that I've been dealing with is, as this unit here freezes up, it will condensate. And so I'll come inside the building here, and it might be 77 degrees, everything completely frozen, even though it's set to, generally about 70 degrees, okay? And water will just start building up here along the bottom. It'll drip down, it'll run onto this receptacle, even though it is a GFI, and it will come down here and settle on the ground, and then it is seeping into that wood. So if I don't get this changed out, it's going to end up destroying the wood and rotting it from the inside out. And so that is another determining factor. I have tried cleaning this. I have used commercial cleaners. I don't know what the deal is, but it has progressively gotten worse and worse, even with cleaning and trying to straighten fins and make sure there's good airflow. So since it's already not serving the purpose that I wanted, it's not keeping up with this very well, it only makes sense to just go ahead and swap it out. Plus it will give me an electronic source or electrical source of heat for this, since it has a heat pump built in. All right, so we'll clean off a little work area here and just have a spot where we can unbox, check the components in the package, make sure there's no visible damage, and go over our template. That cardboard leaning up against the wall there is a template. Go outside and get our electrical lined out and get ready to get our disconnect mounted on the wall here and get it all wired in. So that way we've got a good way to connect and be able to disconnect as needed the service going to this mini split for future service needs and getting things hooked up. Bring in some SB2 and some concrete blocks, and we'll get a base set for this unit to rest on. We'll go ahead and set it in place, and the rock will give it a good place to drain for the condensation as well. We'll go back inside, lay out the template, and drill our hole through the wall so that way we can run our lines. Sometimes you have to move the template twice, get the holes off, but anyways. Hang the unit up and make sure that everything fits, and good to go there. Really, it's a pretty simple install. It's just time consuming. It's not labor intensive. It's just time, just getting everything lined out, especially if you care with things being level, centered, and stuff like that. So got the unit set, vacuum pump hooked up, and pulling a vacuum, and then I will go across and start laying out my line covers, which I had on hand from another project. But pull the vacuum and let it rest. After that vacuum, make sure there's no leaks. So got the head unit inside installed and made sure electric is going to it, and we've got power, and just testing out operations before we tighten up some of the covers and things outside. But here you can see how I ran the line set with some flex tubing around my disconnect, the base there, and still had plenty of access to the disconnect, and just kept everything clean and covered, UV protected and rodent and animal protected as well, and just getting it all lined out. Okay, so with this window unit running on high, on cool, I come down here and let's take a look at what we're putting out on our sound level. .64 for a decibel rating with the window unit running. So now let's see what the mini split sounds like with it on high. All right, so this is the mini split on high. And we're about 14 decibels less with this mini split on high than the window unit was on high, and the window unit only does cooling. Or we were spiking up at about 64 decibels with the window unit. So the unit has been doing a great job actually keeping it warm, or cool rather, at the opposite end of the building. And so what I did was I changed from having the window unit mounted here on the side. I went ahead to the back here and just centered up the mini split right there in the far back of the building. And so that way that just blows back around towards the front. So it's done a pretty good job running off of the solar system. This is Wi-Fi controllable as well, so I can go into my phone and I can adjust settings and things like that. There's an app for it, which is really quite handy when you are running off of solar and trying to be aware of your battery storage and things like that. But it is so much quieter. You can hear yourself think in here, and there's not these spikes of temperature. It just stays a steady about 70 degrees, which is just right. It's not, with the window unit, it would get up to 77, and then it would be really loud and running, and it would cool down to about 68, and it was just very inconsistent temperature swings. So I think this mini split is going to be an excellent replacement, and I'm going to go ahead in the next few weeks or so. I'm going to get this window unit removed. I'll end up putting a window there to fill in that gap. And I think I have found a consistent way to maintain the temperature in this office and not have to introduce so much humidity with the propane heat in the winter time. So I've got it as a backup, total grid down, everything has failed. That'll be great as a backup, but it's not what I want to be my my everyday heat source in here. And we've got a little 3D printer over here, and the filament doesn't like humidity, And then we've got, you know, books and other things in here that I store that are humidity sensitive. So just trying to take care of things, and the mini split seems to be doing a fantastic job. If there ends up being a problem with it, I will update you all. But so far, very well put together, very pleased. I've installed multiple mini splits. There was nothing abnormal about this. Their price point is spot on. There'll be a link down below. I'll try to get you all a discount code as well. But thanks to Cozeware for sponsoring this build and this video. And I'm super grateful for the help from every one of my sponsors. But this one here is one I can feel. It is very noticeable. So, all right, folks, we'll catch you all in the next one. Mountain Wizard out. See ya.